instructions at all times. I want you to fight hard but fight clean. If you want to touch gloves, touch them now. Good. Step back. Good luck.
Big head kick thrown by the champion. Did a ton of damage to Rashad. To pardon me with.
It's back to your corner, son.
Oh boy.
15th straight title fight for Jon Jones.
Apparently, not enough. Vicious elbow. Another vicious elbow.
You ready? Get on.
Here we go.
The champion in the black trunks, the challenger.
He's hot right now in the sport. So it's just fun to attach myself to his fight weeks.
Because we worked so goddamn hard on this and trained so hard, and so many people sacrificed. And
He really is. I mean, he told the fans that we lived together for 2 years. We lived together for 1 semester.
Wow, that's so beautiful. I was going to make a joke and tell you that I wasn't signing it because I'm a bad person.
Oh, okay.
And bad people don't do things.
Daniel Cormier, probably the most well-known of Jones's rivalries. The two light heavyweights had multiple confrontations and heated exchanges, both inside and outside the octagon. Their mutual animosity was evident.
Take this time to thank Daniel Cormier for being my biggest rival and motivator.
Like instructions at all times. I want you to fight hard but fight clean. If you want to touch gloves, touch them now. Good. Step back. Good luck.
Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier fought twice before the latter decided to retire. The first fight between these two rivals came at UFC 182 in 2015, with the rematch taking place 2 years later at UFC 214. After the initial bout at UFC 178 was postponed, following an injury to UFC light heavyweight champion Jon Jones, Bones finally took on Daniel Cormier at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. What transpired was a fairly even contest, with Cormier managing to cope with the taller and stronger Jones. But it was the defending champion who emerged victorious on the judges' cards, with all three scoring the fight 49-46 in the defending champion's favor. The role had been flipped before Daniel Cormier and Jon Jones met for a second time. Now it was Jones' turn to be the challenger, with Cormier holding UFC light heavyweight title. Bones had the belt stripped by the UFC after the first Cormier fight for violating the UFC's athlete code of conduct. This, however, did not stop Jones from putting on a hard-hitting performance and secured a knockout victory with a brutal head kick in round 3. Jones was once again the UFC light heavyweight champion, but his title reign was short-lived after testing for the banned substance turinabol. This resulted in the fight being ruled a no contest, and the UFC light heavyweight title was returned to Cormier. Rashad Evans. There are only a few great rivalries in modern MMA.
Big head kick thrown by the champion. Did a ton of damage to Rashad. To pardon me with.
And still the undefeated Bones.
Just stalking him.
Jones from his first fight against
Jon Jones and Rashad Evans happen to have one of the best. From a human angle, it is filled with trust leading to betrayal, friends turning into enemies, and brothers in arms becoming an army against you. From a sports perspective, it is an intriguing matchup between two truly versatile light heavyweights who are also two of the biggest threats in the division standing, clinched or on the ground. Dominic Reyes. The two faced each other in a light heavyweight title bout in the UFC 247 main event. The incredible close matchup was scored in favor of Jones by all three judges, 48-47, 48-47, and 49-46.
It's back to your corner, son.
Oh boy. 15th straight title fight for Jon Jones.
That was a great foot take. That was a great fight. I tell you what, I think the difference in the fight were takedowns.
Reyes outstruck Jones and landed more significant strikes, and a large portion of mixed martial arts fans and experts expressed their shock at the decision going the way of Bones. Soon after his win against Dominic Reyes in February 2020, Jon Jones vacated the light heavyweight title, citing a pay dispute with President Dana White. Chael Sonnen, known for his trash talk, Sonnen challenged Jones for the light heavyweight title and had many verbal exchanges in the lead-up to their bout.
Commands at all times. Touch gloves if you like. Let's fight.
the fight. Apparently, not enough. Vicious elbow. Another vicious elbow.
In the main event of UFC 159, light heavyweight champion Jon Jones, 18-1, defeated Chael Sonnen, 27-13-1, to retain his title by TKO in the first round and further assert his dominance in MMA. As many expected, this wasn't even close. To Sonnen's credit, he came out aggressively against the champion. The longtime middleweight contender went to the clinch soon after the opening bell and attempted to stay busy, but Jones' strength was simply too much. After repeated takedowns led to some vicious ground and pound, the beginning of the end was set in motion. Jones utilized the clinch to set up yet another takedown and rained down his signature elbows until the fight came to an end. Alexander Gustafsson. After their epic first fight, which Jones won narrowly, there was a prolonged period of back and forth between the two fighters. They rematched, with Jones winning more decisively the second round. Like all close fights, the decision in UFC 165's title bout between Jon Jones and challenger Alexander Gustafsson created a stir among fans on the internet. Though the bulk of the media and all three judges scored the fight for Jones, some felt that the challenger deserved the title. It's hard, of course, to process a fight totally while it is happening. In a fight like this one, where a huge underdog is fighting the favorite closely,
Here we go! The champion in the black trunks, the challenger
by unanimous decision, and still
And here's a head kick. Blocked by Gustafsson. So many head kicks by Jones.
there is a tendency to inflate what he's doing simply because he's defying expectations. In other words, Gustafsson, just by staying in the fight for 5 rounds, felt like a winner. Israel Adesanya. The two never fought, but they've had a lot of exchanges on social media.
He's hot right now in the sport. So it's just fun to attach myself to his fight weeks.
With Adesanya and Jones trading barbs over potential future matchups and comparing their achievements, Israel Adesanya is fine with letting the fans worry about his rivalry with Jon Jones. Much has been made of Adesanya and Jones trading verbal shots over the years, with only one weight class previously separating them. But with Jones now at heavyweight and Adesanya seeking challengers for his middleweight title, it appears that the ship has sailed on them ever actually fighting. Adesanya was taken aback during a recent appearance on the Impulsive podcast when he was told about some complimentary words from Jones, to which he responded by saying, "Real recognizes real," in a seeming show of mutual respect. Anthony Smith. About their bout, which Jones won, there was some lingering animosity, with Smith being very vocal about wanting a rematch and his thoughts on Jones's issues outside the cage.
So hard to get inside and land against Jon Jones. Now he attacks that lead leg of Smith.
Because we worked so goddamn hard on this and trained so hard and so many people sacrificed.
But it appears he earned quite a few people's respect, including his champion opponent. Smith went the distance against light heavyweight champ Jon Jones in the UFC 235 main event and lost a unanimous decision. Smith was a bigger underdog than anyone ever had in a title fight against Jones, who widely was expected to finish the fight rather than to need the judges' scorecards. A prop bet on Jones to win by decision paid out at more than 10-1 at one online sportsbook. But Smith had an opportunity to win the fight, and by not taking it, he walked away a folk hero of sorts to many people, including Jones. Vitor Belfort. After their fight, it was revealed that Belfort was on elevated levels of testosterone.
And still, UFC light heavyweight champion.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I was going to make a joke and tell you that I wasn't saying it because I'm a bad person. Oh, okay. And bad people don't do things for...
Here we go!
That was close.
Jones expressed his displeasure over this revelation. Deadspin reported in September that Vitor Belfort had a sketchy drug test result weeks before a fight with Jon Jones at UFC 152 in September 2012. Belfort appeared to have elevated levels of testosterone. The numbers, though, were never reported, and the main event fight went on as scheduled. Jones didn't know about the test until the Deadspin report came out. He's not surprised about Belfort, a rumored performance-enhancing drug user for years. However, Jones told Ariel Helwani in a sweeping interview last week for MMA Fighting that he is upset the UFC knew before the bout and didn't do anything about it. Colby Covington: John Jones's intimidating presence in the octagon is not a recent development.
He's just grasping at straws now, you know, the guy, how is he still even in the pound-for-pound rankings? Like, who is doing these?
He really is. I mean, he told the fans that we lived together for 2 years. We lived together for 1 semester.
You know, the guy's washed up, and like Dana White said it himself, Uncle Dana, he said he's the biggest waste of talent in the history of the UFC, so.
According to insights from his college roommate, Colby Covington, Covington mentioned that during their time together, they found themselves in various challenging situations. In a small Iowa town where many were farm kids, altercations often arose, particularly at their house parties. Covington recalled that they would frequently have to manage confrontations with locals, ensuring the safety of their surroundings. According to Covington, Jones was especially noteworthy for his assertiveness. He described incidents where Jones took matters further, like removing unruly individuals from their gatherings. Some instances even escalated to physical altercations, with Jones displaying his short fuse and intense anger. The dormitory they shared wasn't only home to Covington and Jones. Joe Soto, a former Bellator featherweight champion and UFC bantamweight title contender, was also part of their living arrangement. Soto's wrestling achievements at Iowa Central Community College added to the collective talent in the room. As time progressed, Jones seemed to have channeled his youthful aggression in more constructive ways. By the age of 27, he had managed to largely steer clear of the sort of issues that can hinder a young athlete's career. His sole encounter with law enforcement transpired in 2012, involving a DUI incident where he crashed his Bentley into a telephone pole during the early hours of the morning. The MMA media. Jones has frequently voiced his displeasure with specific media individuals or organizations, citing their perceived bias.
There's no reason to grant him a fight. He got knocked out the last time we fought. Yeah.
I'm in the best shape of my life. You're not, John. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm in the best shape of my life. I'm ready. I'm in the best shape of my life. You say this.
And unjust coverage, particularly related to his controversies. He believes they have portrayed him unfairly, which has fueled his dissatisfaction. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.